Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about some problem solving. The last couple of weeks, I've gotten a lot of questions about combination skin. It is something that most women deal with. Sometimes they'll all year long, and sometimes fall and winter kind of aspirate those areas in our skin. And something that I really like about what I've been learning about and with this makeup line is they're not going to tell you that it's going to make you perfect. We're not looking for perfection, but we are looking for ways that we can minimize things that bother us. More likely it bothers us more than someone else. Someone else probably does not notice it at all. But we're also going to talk about how no one's skin is the same. No one is the same. Everyone is very unique, and the way we enhance our beauty can be very different as well. So we're going to talk about a few ways that even though we all have different skin and it's going to react differently to different things, some kind of tried and true ways of combating combination skin, especially this time of the year. So first of all, if you are looking for long-lasting results, stay tuned right now. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk a little bit about skincare because it was something that I had neglected for a very long time. Later on in the video, I'm going to talk about how can I combat them right today. What are some ways that I can minimize that appearance or just the bother of it? You know, it's just kind of annoying to us. So first of all, skincare. It was something I did not do for myself. I always washed my face, but I was always using different soaps. I was using some that were abrasive, some that would kind of leave my skin looking red, things like that. So I have found in the last few months since starting this that skincare can really change just the luster of your skin, but it also combats what's going on deep within the skin. So first things first is that if you are combating combination skin or you're combating acne or anything like that, then the first thing you might want to think about is how are you washing your face? So typically most women get the cleanser because they've heard that it's good for them. And it is, cleanser is very good, but it depends how we're using it. So number one, if you're using just a cleanser, a gentle cleanser, you are going to want to wash your face twice. Okay, kind of like what we heard about a long time ago with our hair. Usually if you're using something that's going to nourish the hair, you wash it first. You get those impurities out so that it can nourish, it can get into the hair. Same thing with the skin. We've got to get all that makeup off, all that impurities off. So for me, I use CeraVe. It's something that our dermatologist had recommended to Lauren. And I use it too. It's a very gentle cleanser, but it does remove the makeup and impurities. Then I use it used to be called mascara, it's now called Saint. I use the skincare line and I have a gentle cleanser. And what I do is then after I wash my face, I go ahead and I spray it onto my hand. I use it just like I would any other cleanser. I actually let it sit for just a little bit, maybe just a minute, because if you use it this way, it's going to penetrate down into those pores. So if you have large pores or you're fighting acne or things like that, it needs to penetrate down. Otherwise, we're just washing off the face of the skin. We want it to go down deep. Then when that's all complete, I would recommend a toner, especially for combination skin. We do have, our skincare is called the Milk line, and it comes as a bundle, and when you buy it as a bundle, you do save money, but you can also buy it separately. So some people say, well, I really like my toner that I'm using, and I would just like this. You can buy it in any way that you want. The bundle is just there to help you save money. I was very surprised of the price for it, and how high brand it seems to me, because I'm used to buying Walmart soaps and things off all over the counter. But anyway, ours is called the Milk line. Toner, no matter what you use, typically some people will just spray it on the face. I like to use my microfiber towel. I'll spray it 2 times and then I work into a circular section all over my face. I will notice still sometimes I'm pretty happy because never before I was always one that would get makeup all over my pillow even though I'd washed my face. I'm not getting that anymore. And I think part of it's the toner. I don't get much off. If it's anywhere, it's probably usually in like a little part where I missed washing my face. But the toner is going to be kind of what balances the skin. It also goes deep into the pores. So you're kind of setting it into the face. And then you could also use, you don't have to use a microfiber or anything, but you could just use a washcloth, or you could just use the little circle cotton circles that they have out too. Those work perfectly fine too. And it does not take much. It's just a spray or two, whatever you feel is best for your face. And then I do highly suggest moisturizer, especially at night, because that's where you've got everything opened up. If you've taken a bath or you've washed your face with warm water, you've opened up those pores, you have allowed the cleanser in, you've washed that off, you've added the toner, and now we want something that's going to help combat. A lot of people think, well, I'm oily, I shouldn't use moisturizer. Moisturizer is not just to make your skin moisturized. Okay, it's combating, it's doing other things, it's putting things into the skin and allowing it to sit there. Now, if you try this and your skin in the morning, you try the moisturizer and you try putting your makeup on top of that and it still feels, you shouldn't feel much. Like when I put my makeup on, it took some practice not to feel anything because at first I was adding a little too much product, but we can talk about that later. But if you feel like you're still it makes you feel sticky or tacky, skip the moisturizer in the morning, but I would not skip it at night. Now, another thing that you can try though is that most people put the moisturizer on and then they put their makeup on directly after that. I would not do that. Most people, it's going to take about 2 minutes for the moisturizer to actually seep in and dry. Otherwise, you're just kind of mixing them together and you're kind of creating something new with those two ingredients. So for some people, moisturizer will take up to 10 minutes to dry. So you might also think about, when am I applying my moisturizer? Am I applying it right when I'm applying my makeup, or am I giving it some time to seep into the skin? As I will tell you, after about 2 minutes for me, I can't feel it on my face any longer. So skincare is very important. Now, if you want to combat it right now, there's some other things that you can do. So first of all, I do recommend some type of primer. Now pretend I don't have any makeup on today. Okay, so my makeup I'm clean, I have moisturized, it has dried. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and prime the face. That helps, especially if you've got those large pores and things. You are going to they're kind of like a filler. The primer kind of fills that space up. It will do that with cream makeup too, but we don't want the cream to fall into those pores. So like when you notice, I have actually large pores on my nose, but I really feel like my brightener and things just really smooth it out. Are they gone? No, they're still there, but they're much more. They're reduced in size. I can tell you after about 3 months of using it. It took about 3 months for me to see some difference. I saw notices within the luster of my skin right away. The pores took a little bit longer. I'm hoping to get some more effects. A lot of people say, I have been reading a lot about dermatologists said that don't give up on something for about 6 months, but I wouldn't give up because I'm seeing some good results. So my favorite, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to do some favorite things videos, but one of my favorite things is our setting spray, because it's not a primer, but it can be used as a primer. So I don't like to spend a lot of money, so I like to use this as two different things. I would recommend, especially if you have combination skin, to have some type of sponge. Ours is called the Perfector sponge. It's pretty well priced, and you are going to go ahead and you are going to you can kind of slide it a little bit, but you're going to really dab it because you don't want to slide the product off. You want it to fill into those pores. Then before you place your makeup, another thing, especially if you're combating oily areas, okay, the moisturizer and all those other things are going to really help combat the dryness. The cream is not going to exacerbate that. It's going to give you more of a dewy feel and a more of a dewy look, and so it's not going to dry out your skin like you may have seen with normal foundation. That kind of gives you that cakey look. It kind of dries out during the day. You're not going to get that with the cream base. So again, and that's why she created it. She created this brand to problem solve for women, understanding that everybody's skin is different. So let's pretend that, and I do have some oily areas. I can get it here in my chin, sometimes right in here as well. But I'm going to talk about that T-zone where most women are, even if it's hormonal, you're going to get it right in that T-zone. So this is called the vanilla dust powder. It is the same color for everyone. And again, this is going to go under your makeup. Instead of, we're used to thinking you put powder everywhere. And you can do that. Some people really like that look on their skin. And if that works for you, we'll talk about that at the end. But if you're trying to combat oil, before you put your makeup on, you're going to want to put it right on top of that oily area. So this is the powder brush. So if you like a lighter touch, you can do this. That might even be more of where you're trying to put it all over your face if you have it all over the face. But if you're just trying to get it in direct spots, the other side is much more dense. You are not trying to powder it, like you're not trying to swipe it. You're going to dab it right into those oily areas. And that way, if you have a dry patch over here, you're not sticking powder and making it, look, the powder is going to kind of settle into that dry spot. So we don't want to do that. So again, put that powder on before you apply your makeup. It'll also help set it in that area so that if you do get oily, it's not going to feel like it's going to slide right off. Then again, once you apply the powder to those oily areas, I really recommend setting it in. First of all, it's going to take off anything extra that might create kind of a streak or anything like that, but it's also setting it, it's sticking it, it's getting it stuck within the skin. We want it to stick there. Then you are ready to apply your makeup. Then if you love the powder on top, you could do that with a softer brush and brush it all over. Otherwise, you're ready to use your setting spray. You can go ahead and set it. Again, it's going to set that powder and hopefully it's going to help combat some of those oily areas. So if you have more questions or you would like to shop some of the vanilla dust or you anything like that, just let me know and I can send you anything that you need. I hope it's helpful. Have a great day.